Very good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss the IEEE standards in computer network. Somehow one question can ask from in UPTU examination from that topic. So now IEEE standards, this standard is especially family 802, mainly deal the local area network and metropolitan area network. This 802 has a various family members, just like 802.2, 802.3, 802.4, 802.5, 802.6, 802.11, 802.15. 802.2 is especially used for logic link layer. 802.3, those who are going to discuss today, this is the Ethernet. 802.4, this is token bus. 802.5, this is token ring. 802.6, metropolitan area network. 802.11, wireless network. You all are aware with that because you are using the Wi-Fi, so wherever you have listened about this technology. Now 802.1, 802.15.1, this is used for Bluetooth, because Bluetooth is also a wireless technology whenever we want to send a data in very short distance. So all these standards is handled by the IEEE. Mainly IEEE 802 is made for a small network, especially local area network, and if we are going to extend our small network to metro city, we have to use the MAN, metropolitan area network. 802 is mainly focused on a data link layer and physical layer. Data link layer, you all are aware with that. They are the various service handled in the data link layer: error control, flow control, framing, bit synchronization. These are the services of a data link layer. And now physical link layer, this is mainly deal the type of cable, type of signal you are going to send when data come from data link layer. Physical layer change the data in electrical signal, either in the analog signal, either in the digital signal. So these are things 802 we can focus we can focus at the last these two layers. IEEE 802 has various family members. I have all discussed. Now we have to focus here only on 802.3 Ethernet, 802.4, 802.5. Now Ethernet in IEEE 802.3 mainly discuss here the type of cable. Basically when we are going to connect to the system, I have already said that there's the 5 components is very important: who is sender, who is receiver, what is the communication media, what is the protocol used for that, and what are the message those sender and receiver are going to transmit. 802.3 is basically made for only wired network, and 802.3 mainly deal the type of cable, and along with at that cable which protocol is going to be managed among the stations. So the 802.3 mainly cables used is the coaxial cable, twisted pair cable, and fiber optics cable. Now these protocols handled in 802.3 are Aloha, previously used as an old technology. After that CSMA comes, and now the most important and most used protocol on CSMA 802.3 is CSMA CD protocol. This stands for your carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. I have already discussed the CSMA CD protocol. It is work on a listen before talk. So now you can read out this in this slide whatever I have discussed here. Maximum data rate you can transfer around the 802.3 is 100 Mbps. Whenever as example, whenever you are going to connect your cable with your laptop, your LAN pop up a 100 Mbps data range. So you RJ45 or whatever you are going to connect with your NIC card. NIC card is just a interface card, and we also, so it come with a Ethernet. So when 100 Mbps we will sort that, but it depends on the type of cable you are using. Twisted pair cable you are using, you have to you will get the least data rate. Coaxial cable, if you are going to connect that, it will definitely better data rate at comparison to the twisted pair cable. And now fiber optics cable, if you are going to use, it's one of the best media in wired system to transfer the message. So now 802.3 simply cabling, and after cabling in 802.3 802.3 also discuss the encoding techniques. So Ethernet cabling techniques has three main standards. First one is your standard Ethernet. This is a very basic media cable when you want to connect your data at local network. Fast Ethernet, if you are going to extend your range of your networking, you have to use the fast Ethernet. And gigabit Ethernet, name represent that you are going to send the huge amount of data, then you have to change your flavors. If you are going to send the small amount of data at a small range, you have to use the standard Ethernet. If you are going to change send your bulk data from local area network to metropolitan area network, you have to use the fast Ethernet or gigabit Ethernet. So now these are the varieties of we can see here, these are the varieties of data, varieties of the cable. Here we can see. So there's each and every cable has its own standards. Here if you are choosing the 10 base 5 is basically used for a thick coaxial cable. You have choose a thick coaxial cable, and on this coaxial cable you can send the digital data, and digital data have in encoded form. They are the two main type of encoding used for digitalization. First one is your Manchester, and another one your differential Manchester. I will discuss later. So either 10 represent the data rate of that cable, base represent, it means ki you are sending the digital signal on this coaxial cable, and 5 represent the maximum length, how kitna aapko length you can use it for that coaxial cable. So this is signaling techniques. You can send the Manchester encoding, data rate maximum 10 Mbps, and this is the maximum segment length. So 10 base 5. According to this, you can understand that 10 base 2 is 10 is data rate, base again this is a digital signal, and 2 is the maximum segment length, and this type of cable is come under your coaxial cable. Now 1 base 5 is and 10 base 10 base T is made for UTP type cable. UTP stands for your sealed twisted pair. Twisted pair has two categories, sealed and unsealed. So here these type of cable under the unsealed twisted pair. Here 1 represent the data rate, and 250 represent the length of the cable. T here in 10 base T you can send the 10 Mbps data rate, and maximum segment length is 100. Now 10 base F is 10 is a maximum data rate, base is a Manchester encoding, yani digital signal, and F is represent the fiber optics cable. So we can see here among these maximum segment length here is for 10 base 5. It is actually this is for fiber optics cable. Now in 10/5, 10/2 it is used for coaxial cable, 1/5 and 10/T it is used for twisted pair cable, and 10/F this is used for fiber optics cable. In among these type of cabling, 10/T is very has a very low cost. But if you want to maximum data you want to send, you want to your cable, you need a cable for a best network system, then you have to choose the 10/F. And if one thing you missing here, in 10/5 you can maximum 100 nodes you can add. 10/2 you can add the 30. Reason is that it is a thick coaxial cable, it is thin coaxial cable. Thin coaxial cable send the less amount of data as comparison to thick coaxial cable. So you can add the 100 nodes, you can add the 30 nodes on 10/2. Now if you are going to use the 10/T, it can add around the 024 nodes you can add. And if you going talk about the 10/F, you can add also you can add the 1024 nodes on maximum on that cable. So this is come under your standard Ethernet. If you want to understand the concept of fast Ethernet and gigabit Ethernet, you have to take your knowledge of your you can take knowledge from your reference book. If you want to explore this, you can ask later. Now next, after discussing the cable, Ethernet is also handling the encoding techniques. There are the various encoding techniques, but two encoding techniques are very popular in Ethernet. First one is your Manchester encoding and differential Manchester encoding. Encoding actually when data come from top layer to physical layer, data in the form of 10. So 10 data in physical layer after change in a electrical signal. Electrical signal, you know that either it will be the analog signal, either it will be a digital signal. When you are sending the data sender side to receiver side, analog or analog digital or digital analog or digital digital, then you have to change your data formats from one to another. Most popular encoding techniques in 802.3 Manchester and differential Manchester. I will discuss later. You can see here data come from your top layer, and now this is the binary encoding of that data. 1 for high, 0 0 0 0 for low, and 1 high, again 0 0, and then 1 1 1 1 again high. So this is the bit interval of the data. And now this is Manchester and differential Manchester encoding. This is slightly different from binary encoding, so we have to take the separate class for that. Now next in 802.3 is frame format. This is a very important among these topics. Actually, when data comes from data link layer to physical layer, you know that every layer add its own header. So when data come from data link layer to physical layer, data link layer it's attach its own header with data. So somehow question asked from that, what is the header format of the 802.3? 802.3 header has the 7 fields. First one is your preamble, second one is your starting frame delimiter, third and fourth are common. This is source address and destination address. Length is simply what is the size of number of byte stored in data field. And now what is the data which is coming from the upper layer, and CRC is simply your it is used to detect the transmission error. So preamble is used for bit synchronization at receiver side. You know that at data link layer at sender side, at data link layer makes a small chunks of frames, and each frame has its own sequence. When these frames move from sender to receiver, receiver recollect the all frames, and after that it will synchronize the all data. So for bit synchronization at receiver side, there should be a scheme to manage the bit synchronization, so we can manage by preambles. And second one is whenever we are getting any frames, receiver getting any frames, then he have to decide that how he have to decide that what is the starting of frame. So that's why this field is also mandatory. So this field come under in a header format. The starting frame delimiter, it is a single byte which is a this is the frame flag indicating the start of frame. मीन्स कि जब भी डेटा भेजते हैं सेंडर साइड से रिसीवर साइड पे, तो डेटा के साथ साथ वी नीड सेंड द दिस फ्लैग. This flag when recognized by the receiver assume that after this bit stream, next bit stream is a data stream. So इस तरीके से receiver can easily recognize the starting of a data. Now these two are also very important, because you know that data link layer done the addressing, and addressing is a physical addressing, yani hardware addressing. So there should be a address mentioned on the in the frame. Source address is simply data coming from, and destination address is data move to the destination. Well, this is a destination address and source address, and this is a 66 byte field is given here. You know that MAC address take the 48 bit and 1 byte. I hope you know that this is the 8 bit. So there 6 8s are 48. So there is a 6 byte a field is required for physical addressing of destination, and 6 byte is required for physical addressing of sending station. Now length is also important, ki how much byte of data in your data field. So because whenever you are going to send the data and there is no mention the size of data, then the receiver is not able to recognize that how number of bits in a frame. So length is also important. And data, this is a variable size fields carries the data from the upper level. जो data हमारा network layer से data link layer में आ रहा है, this is the data, and the maximum data size of data field is 1500 byte. Ethernet cable has own जो है limitations that we can send the maximum 1500 bytes on that. So this is the data limit. And now padding is also important, because if you can see here data range minimum 46 and maximum 1500 byte, yani ki you can send the maximum 1500 bytes, but minimum you have to keep the 46 byte of data. अगर आपके पास if you have data is less than 46 bit, then you have to make the data at 46 bit, means you have to add the redundant bit, and this redundant bit is called padding bit. This is added to the data to bring its length to minimum requirement of 46 bytes. Now CRC is very important, because you know that data link layer has a error control mechanism, error detection mechanism, error correction mechanism. So it is used to detect the transmission of error. With the help of CRC, receiver are able to recognize that frame integrity or message integrity is preserved. There is no change in alteration. There is no change in a data, and if CRC is 0. So इस तरीके से we can understand the concept of IEEE 802.3, and then after IEEE 802.3 we will discuss the 802.4 and 802.5. If you have any confusion, then you can ask the question in live class. Thank you so much.